friends, today we are going to discuss the population education. So today we are going to discuss the United Nations role in population issues. So first of all, welcome to all of you in my YouTube channel, that is Study Center. So let's start the discussion, the role on United Nations over the population issues. So let's start. The UN Population Division. The United Nations system has long been involved in addressing these complex and interrelated issues, notably through the work of UN Population Fund, UNFPA, and the UN Population Division. The Population Division pulls together information on such issues as international migration and development, urbanization and world population and prospect policies, and marriage and fertility statistics. It supports the UN bodies such as the Commission on Population and Development and supports implementation of the Program of Action adopted by the 1994 International Conference on Population and Development (IPCD). The Population Division prepare the official United Nations demographic estimates and projection for all countries and areas of the world, and helps the states build capacity to formulate the population policies and enhances coordination of related UN system activities through its participation of the Committee for the Coordination of the Statistical Activities. The UN Population Fund. The UN Population Fund (UNFPA) started operations in 1969 to assume a leading role within the UN system in promoting population program based on the human rights and individuals and couples to freely determine the size of their family. At the International Conference on the Population and Development in Cairo in 1994, its mandate was fleshed out in greater detail to give emphasis to the gender and human rights dimension of population issues. UNFPA was given the lead role in helping the countries carrying out the conference's program of action. The three key areas of the UNFPA mandate are reproductive health, gender equality, and population and development. World Population Day is observed annually on 11 July. It makes the date in 1987 when the world population hit the 5 billion mark. The UN Agency for Children. In the aftermath of the World War II, the plight of the Europe's children was grave, and new agency created by the United Nations to step in provided food and clothing and health care to those children. In 1953, UNICEF became a permanent part of the UN and began a successful global campaign against the yaws, a disfiguring disease affecting the millions of children and one that can be cured, and penicillin. Declaration of the Rights of the Child. In 1959, the UN General Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Human Rights of the Child, which defines the children's rights and to protection of the education and health care and shelter and good nutrition. Education. Following more than a decade of focus on child health issues, UNICEF expanded its interest to address the needs of the whole child, thus began an abiding concern with the education and starting with the support for teaching and training and classrooms equipment in the newly independent countries. In 1965, the organization was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for the promotion of the brotherhood among the nations. Today, UNICEF works in 190 countries, territories, focusing special effort and reaching the most vulnerable and excluded children to the benefit of all children everywhere. Convention on the Right of the Child. UNICEF work is guided by the Convention on the Right of the Child in 1989. The convention is the most rapidly and widely ratified the international human rights treaty in history. The convention changed the way the children viewed and treated either as human beings with the distinct sets of rights instead of as passive objectives of care and the charity. The unprecedented acceptance of the convictions clearly shows a wide global commitment to advancing the children's rights. Much has been accomplished since the adoption of the Convention from the declining the infantile mortality to rising schools and enrollment, but much of the remains has to be done. State of the world's children. Every child has the right to health, education and protection, and every society has stake in expanding the children's opportunities in life. Yet, around the world, millions of children are denied a fair chances for no reason other than the country, gender circumstances into which they are born. Around the world, children are making nearly half of the most 900 million people on living on less than 1.90 days US dollar. Their families struggling to afford the basic health care and nutrition needed to provide them a strong start. This deprivation leave a lasting imprint. In 2014, nearly 160 million children were stunted. Despite the greater progress in school enrollment in many parts of the world, the number of children aged 6 to 11 who are out of school increased since 2011. About 120 million children, adolescents, do not attend the school, and out of the 5 leave primary school without learning how to read, write, or do basic arithmetic. According to 2013 data, this challenge is compounded by the increasingly protected nature of armed conflict. In the next chapter, we are going to discuss children and armed conflict. So, if you like my video, kindly share it, like it, thank you, and subscribe my channel. Don't forget.